When I first held my daughter Lily in my arms, I thought the whole world had blossomed into something beautiful. She was so tiny, so perfect. But as I looked up, eager to share this joy, I saw my mother-in-law, Martha's face, clouded with unmistakable disappointment. It was as if the room had suddenly lost all its warmth. Martha didn't waste time expressing her displeasure. "A girl," she said, her voice dripping with disdain. "What will we do with a girl? She can't carry on the family name." I tried to defend my little miracle. "But she's your granddaughter, Martha. She's a blessing." Martha just scoffed. "A blessing? We needed a boy, Annika. A strong heir, not a girl." Days turned into weeks, and Martha's disapproval grew into a relentless campaign against Lily and me. She whispered in my husband Ethan's ear every chance she got, poisoning him with her archaic beliefs. It wasn't long before Ethan's affectionate glances turned cold. One evening, as I cradled Lily to sleep, Ethan walked in, his face a mask of resolve. "Annika, I can't do this anymore," he said, avoiding my eyes. I felt my heart shatter. "What do you mean, Ethan?" He took a deep breath. "My mother is right. I need a son. I've decided to leave. I'm going to marry someone else." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "You're leaving us? Your daughter? Because of her gender?" Ethan wouldn't meet my gaze. "It's about the family legacy, Annika. It's not just about us." As he walked out, leaving me in tears, holding our daughter, I realized I was now alone in this. Alone with Lily, my little girl who deserved the world but was being rejected for simply being herself. The next few days were a blur. I struggled to make sense of it all. How could the man I loved, the father of my child, abandon us like this, and for such an archaic reason? But as I looked into Lily's eyes, something inside me hardened. I wouldn't let Martha or Ethan dictate our lives. I had to be strong for Lily. I started to pick up the pieces of our shattered life. First, it was the small things, making sure Lily was fed, clothed, and loved. But I knew I had to do more. I had to secure our future, a future where Lily could grow up without the shadow of Martha's prejudice or Ethan's abandonment. I reached out to my old boss, asking if there were any openings. "I need to get back to work," I explained. "I have a daughter to support." My boss, Mr. Jenkins, was sympathetic. "I'll see what I can do, Annika. You were always a hard worker." And so, I started back at work, juggling being a new mom and an employee. It was exhausting, but every time I felt like giving up, I'd look at Lily and find new strength. She was my little warrior, smiling and gurgling, oblivious to the storm around her. Nights were the hardest. The loneliness would creep in, making me question my choices. But then, I'd remember Ethan's words, the way he just walked out, and my resolve would strengthen. This was for Lily, for her future. The chapter of my life with Ethan had closed, but a new one was opening, one where I was a mother, a provider, a survivor. It wasn't going to be easy, but I was ready to face it head-on, with Lily by my side. Life as a single mom wasn't what I had envisioned, but here I was, determined to make the best of it for Lily. Waking up each day felt like a challenge, but her smile was my daily dose of hope. I remember one evening, sitting at our small kitchen table, bills piled up, feeling the weight of the world. Lily crawled up to me, tugging at my leg. I picked her up, trying to hide my tears. "We'll make it through, little one," I whispered. The next day, I was at the local coffee shop, holding Lily and sipping a much-needed espresso. The owner, Sarah, a friendly face I'd known for years, came over. "You okay, Annika? You seem a bit off." I forced a smile. "Just the usual struggles, Sarah, trying to figure out life as a single mom." She nodded, understanding in her eyes. "Why don't you start something of your own, Annika? You've got the brains and the drive." That conversation sparked an idea. I'd always been good at baking, a hobby I cherished. Why not turn it into a business? A small home-based bakery. It wasn't going to be easy, but it was a start. I spent nights researching, planning, and experimenting with recipes while Lily slept. The days were a blur of taking care of her and laying the groundwork for my business. I named it Lily's Delights, a tribute to my daughter, the heart of my world. Launching the business was tough. I remember setting up a small stall at a local market, my hands shaking as I offered samples. Try some homemade cookies, I'd say, smiling through the nervousness. People were kind, offering words of encouragement. These are amazing, Annika. You've got a real talent. Slowly, word began to spread. Orders started trickling in. It was a slow climb, but each order felt like a victory. I remember dancing around the kitchen with Lily, celebrating our first big order. But it wasn't just about the business. I found solace in connecting with other single moms. We'd meet at the park, kids playing as we shared stories and advice. They weren't just friends. They were a lifeline, understanding the struggles and joys of single parenthood. Annika, you're like a beacon of hope for us, one of them, Emily, told me one sunny afternoon. You're showing that we can make it on our own. Her words stuck with me. I wasn't just building a business. I was building a new life, a community. One particular day stands out in my memory. Lily, now toddling around, had just taken a few steps on her own. I was overjoyed, rushing to call my best friend Jess. Jess, she walked. Lily just walked. Annika, that's amazing. You're doing such a great job with her. It was moments like these that made all the hardships worth it. Watching Lily grow, learning to walk, to talk, filled me with a pride I can't describe. She was growing up in a home filled with love and laughter, despite the absence of her father. As the months passed, my little bakery began to flourish. I was no longer just scraping by. I was actually saving money, thinking of the future. Lily's Delights was becoming a local favorite, a testament to the power of perseverance and passion. I'd lie awake at night, Lily sleeping peacefully beside me, and think about how far we'd come. The pain of the past was still there, a dull ache, but it was overshadowed by the love and determination that filled our lives now. We had made it through the darkest of times, and as I watched Lily sleep, I knew we were just at the beginning of our journey. A journey of hope, resilience, and triumph. A journey we were taking together. Years had passed since Ethan walked out on us. Lily was now a bright, spirited little girl, full of questions and laughter. Lily's Delights had grown beyond my wildest dreams. We were doing more than just surviving. We were thriving. Then, one autumn day, as the leaves turned golden and the air grew crisp, Ethan reappeared, like a ghost from the past. I was in the middle of a baking session when I heard the knock. Opening the door, I froze. There he stood, a mix of nerves and regret in his eyes. Annika, I need to talk to you. His sudden appearance after all these years left me reeling. What are you doing here, Ethan? He looked down, shuffling his feet. I've made a terrible mistake. I should have never left you and Lily. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. After years of silence, he was here, asking for forgiveness. Why now, Ethan? After all this time? He sighed, a pained expression crossing his face. I couldn't have a son with my second wife. And my mother, she's ill. We realized how wrong we were, how much we hurt you. I felt a surge of anger. So this was about him, his failures, not about us. And you think you can just walk back into our lives? Before I could say more, Martha appeared behind him. Frail, yes, but her eyes still held that same judgmental glint. We want to make things right, Annika. Please, let us be a part of your life again. Their words felt hollow, a stark contrast to the years of struggle and pain they had put us through. You want to make things right? I asked, my voice steady despite the turmoil inside. You abandoned your daughter, your family, and you, Martha, you never saw us as worthy. Martha reached out, a plea in her eyes. I know we've been wrong, but we've changed. We want to support you, be a part of Lily's life. I thought of all the nights Lily had asked about her father, all the times I had to be both mom and dad. They had no right to come back now, not after everything. You weren't there when she took her first steps, said her first words. You weren't there for any of it. And now you want to play happy families? Ethan's eyes were downcast. I'm sorry, Annika. I truly am. I want to be a part of her life, make up for the lost time. I shook my head, the decision clear in my heart. It's too late for sorry, Ethan. We've built a life without you. Lily and I, we don't need your apologies or your guilt. Martha started to say something, but I held up my hand. No, Martha. You made your choices, and now we've made ours. Lily and I are doing just fine. We don't need your apologies or your regret to validate our existence. The look on their faces was a mix of shock and realization. They had expected forgiveness, a happy reunion. But that chapter of our lives was closed. As they turned to leave, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. I had stood my ground. For Lily. For us. We were more than just survivors. We were warriors, shaping our destiny, one day at a time. That evening, as I tucked Lily into bed, her innocent eyes looking up at me, I knew I had made the right choice. "Mommy, I love you," she said, her voice sleepy. Holding her close, I whispered, "And I love you, my little warrior, always and forever." They say time heals all wounds, but some choices leave scars that shape us. I had chosen to protect my daughter, to honor the life we had built. It wasn't about revenge or bitterness. It was about respect and dignity. And as I looked at Lily, her chest rising and falling in peaceful sleep, I knew we had everything we needed. As the days turned into years, Lily's Delights blossomed into more than just a bakery. It became a symbol of empowerment, a community hub where laughter and stories were shared as freely as recipes. Lily, my little ray of sunshine, was thriving, excelling in school and blooming into a confident, caring young girl. I'll never forget the day Lily came home, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Mom, I got the lead role in the school play." Hugging her tight, I felt a burst of pride. "That's amazing, Lily. I'm so proud of you." As Lily chattered about her rehearsals, I thought about how far we'd come. The bakery was now a local favorite, and I'd started workshops to teach other women how to start their businesses. It was my way of giving back, of showing them that they too could rise from their ashes. One afternoon, as I was setting up for a baking class, Jess walked in, a concerned look on her face. "Have you heard, Annika, about Ethan and Martha?" I paused, a tray of pastries in hand. "No, what happened?" She sighed, taking a seat. "Ethan's second marriage didn't work out. And Martha, well, she's not doing too well. People in the community, they're talking. They've seen what you've accomplished and how Ethan and Martha treated you. There's not a lot of sympathy for them." A part of me felt a pang of vindication, but it was overshadowed by a sense of sadness. Sadness for Ethan, who had missed out on Lily's incredible journey, and for Martha, who had let her prejudices blind her. "Annika, you showed them," Jess continued. "You showed everyone what you're made of." But as I looked around the bustling bakery, filled with laughter and the sweet aroma of cakes and cookies, I realized it wasn't about showing anyone anything. It was about creating a life for Lily and me, about setting an example for her. That evening, as I tucked Lily into bed, I thought about the journey we'd been on, the struggles and the triumphs, the tears and the laughter. "Mom, are you okay?" Lily asked, her eyes curious. I smiled, brushing a strand of hair from her forehead. "I'm more than okay, Lily. I'm happy. We've built a beautiful life, you and I." She snuggled closer. "I love our life, Mom, and I'm proud of you." Her words filled my heart. This journey wasn't just mine. It was ours. We had faced the world together and come out stronger. The next day, as I opened the bakery, I saw a familiar face peering through the window. It was Martha. For a moment, our eyes met. There was a flicker of something in her eyes, regret maybe, or realization. I nodded at her, a silent acknowledgement of the past. She didn't come in, and I didn't expect her to. Our paths had diverged long ago, but in that moment, there was a mutual understanding, a closure of sorts. As I went about my day, serving customers and sharing laughs, I realized how much I had grown. I wasn't just Annika, the woman who had been left by her husband. I was Annika, the successful business owner, the community leader, the single mom who had raised an incredible daughter. And as Lily walked in after school, her face lit up with the day's adventures. I knew this was just the beginning. A beginning filled with hope, independence, and the knowledge that no matter what life threw at us, we could handle it, together.